Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Women Empowerment Series today with me, Farisha, and I'm really honored and delighted to have a very special guest with me. It's Imelda. Hi.
Hi Farisha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much, Farisha, for actually inviting me for this session. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and this is an honor for me as well because for Women Empowerment Series video podcast, so this is dedicated to all the women ladies out there, and for me to interview amazing and aspiring women. Yeah, so Imelda, can you share us more about yourself?
Okay, I think I presume that this is the most simplest question that's going to come. Okay, so I think all of you all know that my name is Imelda and I am actually from Johor Bahru. I am a single mother. I've got two Powerpuff girls. So why I say Powerpuff girls is because I brought them up to be, really empowering girls. And I have worked in a lot of industries. Okay, I started off working in an education industry for about 4 years, followed by a telecommunication industry where I worked for 6 years, manufacturing line for 5 years, and now I'm attached with another higher education industry where I head the department for 6 years already. So why I'm mentioning about where I'm working is because as a woman, where you climb up the career ladder, you would face a lot of discrimination and stuff where you're not allowed to move up a certain level because you're a woman. But in my story, I have basically where I am today, it is actually because of the experiences I have gained. And I'm proud to say that I did not face any sort of discrimination or whatever because of of where I am today. But sad to say that my discrimination that I have faced came from actually other women, and also how do I put it is that being a woman and actually empowering each other is a very, very wide thing. It's not to say that it's a simple thing, empowering women is actually we rise by lifting others. I think you know this, right? And how to say it's like it's a very crucial thing where actually people have to really look into it. That is my basic introduction about myself and how I view women empowerment to be.
Okay, thank you, Imelda. And for the next question, what does woman empowerment means to you in your own words?
Okay. As I mentioned to you just now, woman empowerment is a wide topic, Farisha, and every woman has got their own interpretation to how woman empowerment means to them. For certain people, woman empowerment means allowing a woman to be up in a career ladder. A certain person will say that woman empowerment means helping another woman to come up in any situations that they may face. But for me, I personally believe that woman empowerment is you have to lift them up in any situations that they may be in, no matter their status, no matter their race, no matter whatever it is. That means we got to rise them, we got to help to rise them up. That means, for example, you may be 50 years old and you have decided to actually study. So as a woman, we got to lift them up. We got to encourage them because they're women and they have got a certain passion probably to study or to write a book. So that is what woman empowerment means to me. Encouragement and lifting them up.
Yes, and I think that is very important for us to rise,
Yes.
Also support each other, and for us to hold hands, and for us to do not judge. Yeah, do not judge other people because you do not know what they are going through. You do not know what they are going through in their personal life. So I think it's really important for us to, help each other and also lift up one another. So that is woman empowerment.
Yes.
Okay, and for the next question, this is a very interesting one. Who are the most inspirational women that you admire in Malaysia and also internationally?
Okay, Parisha, this is actually a very, very good question. I admire a lot of women, but for me, because of the experiences that I have gone through, and when I listen to a lot of podcasts and women talking both locally and internationally, sometimes I have this feeling whether people are really meaning the word woman empowerment, you know. So as a woman, I feel the strongest woman I have ever met, whom I would say who's not actually famous, who actually I believe that she lived her life by helping other women and empowering other women, was my grandmother. So that is the only woman I've seen so far who has actually she has already passed on, but she, even living in those days, even she came from poverty and she died, and how she has brought up her children, her daughters, and how she understood them and how she brought up her grandchildren is a very, very good example of how I see a lady should be, and how she has empowered herself and other women. You know, empowering women doesn't mean that you have to continue empowering other women. You got to empower yourself as well. That is actually very important. You know, so I saw that in her. She empowered herself and she empowered other people as well. So she is the most, I would say my idol, that I have always compared her to many. You know, I remember I spoke to you I think a few months ago, where you spoke about your dad and how you admire him. You know, it's like that. She is my woman role model that I have. You know, I cannot compare her with anyone else. So I hope that actually answers your question.
Beautiful, beautiful, Imelda. And what about international role model?
International role model, I look up a lot to Maya Angelou. So I think that she has done her kind of philosophies, and how she has spoken, and how she has ran things actually rings a lot of, how to say, connects with me quite a bit. So even though, of course, you know, I've not read all of her books, but I think she has made some sort of differences in many women's life. So she is somebody that I really look up to internationally. You know, I also want to say that how do I put it? Like, you know, like when we speak about women empowerment, it's also about holding each other's hands and walking together. You know, they should not only be leaders. You know, they could be laymen just like us, right? So yeah, so that's how I view it to be.
Yeah, and it's really inspiring because I've also read about Maya Angelou, and she has gone through so much. She has gone through so much pain in her life from such a young age until her adult life. And the courage, the passion, and her determination to rise above, and not to only rise, but she also touched the lives of others with her.
Correct. That's very important. Yes.
Okay, and we have come to the last question for today, which is, what is your advice to the young generation, to the millennials, to the Gen Y?
Okay. I think my children are in Gen Y as well. So, or maybe younger, I'm not very sure. So my advice is actually very simple. No matter if you are a male or a female, you have to empower yourself. You have to always realize who you are, all right? Believe in yourself, have a lot of self-confidence, because without that, I can guarantee you, you can never move forward. You will always be banging on the same wall, you know? So if you empower yourself, okay, and you have confidence, and you are very brave to face the truth, you can actually move mountains. You know, people can come and tell you all kind of things. You know, people can say that, no, you're not good enough, you're too old, or you're too young. You know, you're too young to do this, you're too old to do this. Push that all aside. You only need validation from yourself. You don't need validation from anybody else.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So that is something which is very important, which I feel that people these days, I mean, children these days, because of the social media and the influence that they get from the social media, says that this is how you're supposed to be. This is how your ideal self is supposed to be. So they tend to look up to that, and they feel that that is the right thing to do. So this is where the people, that means our nation for tomorrow, is basically taking a different step altogether. So they should actually realize that, no, I am enough. I don't need social validation. I don't need people's validation. As long as I'm going in the right path, with, of course, with probably God's guidance, or whatever, your people, your religion, your culture, move forward. That is very important. That's what I personally believe. And I mean, to ladies out there, this I'm just going to put just a disclaimer note for the women for tomorrow. You honestly, as a woman, as a growing up a woman, don't, again, I have to say this, don't seek validation from anybody else. All right. And do not feel that you need to rely on somebody else's support to become the rich CEO. You can become the rich CEO yourself. As a woman, strive hard, move forward. That's my advice for people. I mean, for the generation of tomorrow.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because it's all about the mindset. It's all about your mind, how you think. Your mindset plays a very important role. Your mind shapes your character and what you're going to do with your life. Your focus is all about the mindset. And if you practice the growth mindset, you're going to think of, like, you're looking at challenges, even though that is very challenging, but you go ahead with it. You take the risk.
Yes.
And that is really important, to have that mindset, of, you just have to do it, even though that it's difficult. You just do it. And that is where the mind plays a very important role. It's all about your mindset.
Yep. If I may, Farisha, to add on, when I speak a lot to children, I mean, to adults, not adults as well, and also young children, about body shaming, right? Mm-hmm. Their first question is that, what they say is that they are afraid that people would say something about how they look, or how they're so afraid of what people perceive them to be. Mm-hmm. There was this one particular girl who's a very young, intelligent girl, who shared this with me, that she was afraid to attend interviews online because her below face was slightly bigger. So I told her that does not define you at all. This is what the people, our girls, our people of tomorrow should realize, that actually how we look does not define us. It's how we are inside. Like what you said, our mindset, how we carry ourselves, how we think, is what that's going to take us very far. This is very, very important, which I feel social media, the exposure to social media and the comparison that they do to some airbrushed models and stuff like that, is actually killing our generation, who's actually making them think otherwise of who they actually really are.
Yes, Imelda, you bring up a very important point there. Yeah, the influence of, social media, and also other medias as well. And it's all about your mindset once again. It's how you look at it. If you look at it in a positive way, that's fine. If you look at it in a negative way, that you have to, do something about it and say, okay, let's not compare, because number one, everyone is born different, and we have different strength and weaknesses. Because
correct.
Everybody have their own strength, everybody have their own weaknesses. So we are all unique. Yeah. So we have to our uniqueness, and it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay not to be perfect, because well, nobody is perfect. Yeah, we just have to find our uniqueness, what we have. So for example, the outer side it does not matter much as long as you know what you have inside, your passion, your determination. And also, let's say if you have a special talent and skills, people don't have to care how you look like as long as you know what skill set you have. And the and the passion. Most important thing is the passion, and also the ability to take risks. Yeah.
The drive.
You know that there's a lot of challenges, but you take the risk anyway. So that is growth mindset. So that is how we have to think. We don't have to like think of ourselves that, oh, I don't think that I can, I don't think that I can do it, or I'm not good enough. Because a lot of people have this thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't think that I'm suitable for the role. I'm not suitable for the position. But how can you know that you're not suitable? Because you haven't applied for that role yet.
Exactly. Yes.
You have to give it a go.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
I also advise people out there to, you just have to be confident and don't think so much that, I don't think that I can do this, or I'm so scared. I'm so scared of the outcome. But if you don't take the risk, if you don't try and apply for it, you never know what's on. You never know. You just have to give it a try. And let's say if you don't get it, if your proposal is rejected, if your job application is rejected, it's okay, because it's not the end of the world, and you can always try again and again. And again until you get it.
Correct. Actually, people normally concentrate on what they cannot do as opposed to what they can do. They focus so much on I cannot do this, and they actually ignore what they actually can do. So this is a mindset thing that you have to change, both male and female, the same. So so that is my story to you today, actually, I would say.
It's all about the mindset, because you have to have a very strong mindset to think that, hey, I think I can do this. I'm going to submit this proposal today. That is growth mindset. That is a positive mindset. If the negative mindset, it will say that, oh, well, if I submit this proposal, I don't think I will get it anyway.
I will get it.
So that is negative. So we don't want to be negative. We want to switch it to positive. So it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, whether you get the contract or not. It doesn't matter as long as you just to try. For example, I'm just going to share my personal experience. I have failed so many times. My proposal have been rejected so many times. So I've been rejected as well. So you have to look at it on a bright side. You don't have to think that I'm a failure because they rejected my proposal. But
correct.
If you take it positively, you look back and say, okay, I want to find the root cause. I want to identify what makes them reject my proposal. And I'm going to do something about it. And maybe I'm going to, better myself and improve. Maybe for the next opportunity that might come, I can do better because I can identify my mistakes, my past mistake, and learn from that mistakes.
Correct. I think the word to what you just said is fail forward. You fail and you move forward. You fail and you move forward.
It's okay. It's okay to fail.
It's okay.
So many times I've been, my proposal have been rejected. My project has been rejected so many times, but you don't think of that as a failure. You think of that as a growth process for you to improve. It's a learning curve for you to improve. It's not a failure. It's a learning curve for improvement. And that is how you grow. Okay, Imelda. So we have come to the end of Women Empowerment Series video podcast. So before we end the show, do you have anything else that you want to share with our viewers?
No, but pay attention to the word fail forward, fail and move forward. Have a growth mindset. That's what I want to say to everyone watching this. Thank you. Thank you, Farisha.
Thank you so much, Imelda. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and also your personal journey. And for those of you who are watching this, I hope that you are inspired and also motivated by the sharing from Imelda. Until then, stay safe, take care. Bye.
Bye.